So Risky, today we're talking about UniBridge from the Indonesian student perspective, and and possibly some good ways to use it to benefit better, benefit more. So um, just for somebody who doesn't know what UniBridge is or UniBridge rooms, can you just give a basic idea?
Basic idea about UniBRIDGE. So
Yeah.
I think from my experience, I get a lot of friends from UniBRIDGE. I get to know Australian students. I learn a lot from Australian students about English, and because I'm now majoring in English department, so I need to improve my English. So I have to practicing and practice. So UniBridge helped me with practicing with my English. So uh,
When
that's
you
one of the benefits from UniBridge.
yeah, when you say practicing, you mean speaking and conversation and talking to
Yeah,
people, right?
I mean like
Yeah.
speaking and with the native speakers
Yes,
from
yeah,
Australia.
definitely. So,
That really
and
helps me.
great. So you're in Kupang right now, right?
Yeah, I'm in Kupang.
Yeah. So in Kupang, are there any opportunities to practice your English?
Basically, the opportunities are little. There's only a little opportunities to practicing English directly with the native speakers. So I think UniBridge will help the Indonesian students who practice English. I mean, like speaking and directly have a conversation with the native speakers. But
Yeah,
in
great.
Kupang, there's only a little chance opportunity to talk with the native speaker.
That sounds great. And it's the same for a lot of the Australian students as well. There's not that much opportunity to speak with native speakers all the time. Um, so, what has been some of your good experiences or good conversations that you've had with UniBridge?
I'm sorry, can you repeat the question?
Yeah. So, have you had some good experiences, good conversations that you remember, or good people that you've talked to?
Good conversation
Yeah.
with UniBridge. So I had some discussions about IELTS worksheet with UniBridge.
Oh,
There
yeah.
are some articles in UniBridge, and I can improve my English with that using UniBridge rooms, and I can directly discuss the IELTS worksheet with my friends
Yeah.
from Australia.
Nice. And do you think is the what do you think is the difference between using UniBridge Room and something like Facebook Messenger or WhatsApp? Or like what's the difference? How is one different to the other?
Well, first of all, UniBridge, like we can have a FaceTime, and then we can also recording
Yep.
the our we can also recording the chat,
Yep.
and a record will help us a lot. Like we can also learn from the record. So
Yep.
I think that's the difference, the biggest difference between UniBridge rooms and other text chats like Facebook.
Yeah. And do you think many of the Indonesian students know you can upload different files to UniBridge? Like
Pardon?
so do you think that many of the Indonesian students realize upload files and use a whiteboard on UniBridge. So that's
Uh,
another feature. So when you're doing presentations or
yeah,
talking to people, you can show visuals at the same
yeah.
time as speaking.
Uh, for me, I think I can use the whiteboard and some of the all of the features from UniBridge rooms. But if I use the click meeting on my phone, I think I can't use all of the features. I mean, like
That's right.
if I use the computers, I think we can all the features, all of the features in UniBridge room.
Exactly. That's a good point actually, because the mobile app, when you access the room on your mobile phone, it is
Yeah,
good because you can do it from many places, but you don't have the same features as from a computer.
yeah.
And I think
So
that if
for
you,
me,
yeah, yep,
yeah, if I have an appointment, I would rather using the laptop or computer than my phones
yeah,
because I can use all of the features in UniBridge room.
exactly. Um, that's right. So the app is good, but it's kind of limited compared to the if you're using desktop or laptop.
Yeah.
So what do you for if you're going to give advice to Indonesian students in UniBridge rooms, what advice would you give them? How can they get the best result from using
Okay.
this?
Uh, for me, I think for to get the best online language exchange, I think for Indonesian because we realize that the signal in the internet connections in Indonesia are not as good as in Australia, but especially in Kupang. Then I
Yeah.
want Indonesian students, I want them when they have an appointment, please make sure that their internet connections are really stable and
Yeah.
and make sure that when they have an appointment, please don't make a inappropriate sound like or whatever.
Oh,
And
good.
please use headphones or microphones
Yeah.
so when we speak using the microphones it I think more clear
Yeah.
and also we when we use the headphones we or headset or whatever we can hear Australians clearly. So when we talk and when we communicate with Australian students, they don't feel bored because our like poor connections. We have to repeat again and repeat. So I
Yeah.
think first of all is the internet connections to make a good communications through UniBridge rooms are the internet connections and the microphones and that's all. And
Yeah.
also
Yeah.
there are some tips that I
Oh,
can
yeah.
give. First of all is when we talk we can turn on the microphones, but when we don't talk, please just turn off the microphone. So uh, just in case we talk with another person in Kupang, some Australian students don't hear. Like we can turn off when we don't talk. Just turn off the microphone. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Makes sense. And there's it's to avoid other background noises too, like traffic or animals, birds, that kind of thing. So yeah, that makes sense. That sounds like it's some good tips. Now, another I'm wondering if you can tell me from your perspective is
yeah,
what what do you think the point of UniBridge is? What's the point of the project? So UniBridge has been going for a couple of years, or quite a few years. Um, it it uses multiple platforms. The UniBridge Room web conferencing is just one of the platforms. But overall, what do you think is the objective or the point of UniBridge project?
yeah. So the point of UniBridge project for me, I think UniBridge project really UniBridge project is a project to help the Indonesian students and Australian students to growing engagement by learning together, learn about each other's cultures. So uh, I think that's the point, and how Indonesian students can speak and learn about English and talk more fluently with directly with the native speakers, and that's the point I think from UniBridge project. And also from UniBridge project, also one Indonesian students and Australian students to be to to have an engagement. I mean, like we have a connection with Australian students, so we can learn together.
Sure. That sounds great. And what do you mean good judgment?
Yeah. So when we registering with UniBridge, and we after we registering, like sign up for UniBridge, then we have to like follow the Facebook page of UniBridge Project, and then
Right.
from that Facebook page we can introduce ourselves, and then maybe we can have some friends from Australia from UniBridge, from the Facebook page, and then we can start to growing engagement, like we can start to making friends from UniBridge. So basically UniBridge is also for making friend, like for me, I mean, like I got a lot of friends from UniBridge project, especially from
Yeah, yeah,
Australia.
yeah. And now you came to Australia, right? Can you tell me about some um, good experiences or good lessons that you learned from your time coming to Australia?
Yeah, thanks to UniBridge for giving me an opportunity to go to Australia. Well, about meeting UniBridge friends face to face, that's really amazing. I mean, like, uh, also I learned a lot from my friends in Australia. I stay with my friends for Ray Anderson. I lived with her when I stayed in Australia. I learned a lot. I learned a lot about the Australian cultures directly. Like in, I had some culture shock, and
Oh, really?
when we met in Australia, me and Ray. I mean, like sometimes I don't understand with what she said, so it takes a lot of effort for me, and it's really encouraged me to learn more and more about Australia, about
Yeah,
English. I mean, like,
yeah, yeah,
yeah. So it really encouraged me to learn about English because uh, I think Australian accents is quite deep. It's quite hard for me to understand.
okay,
So when
yeah,
I met directly face to face, then I can learn directly from my friends in Australia, and when they talk, I can also learn about their accent, about their and sometimes when I was in Australia, I heard there's a lot of people using like expressions about Australian expressions that sometimes I don't find it on the online discussion,
sure.
or yeah.
Yeah,
So they talk more like a slang words,
yeah,
and when I was in Australia, I heard some words. So that's really, I learned a lot from that
yeah, I can
when
imagine.
meeting face to face
And
with Australian students.
can you remember any of the slang, or do you know any slang now?
Yeah, like good day, mate,
Good day.
and
Yeah, okay.
yeah, yeah, like good day, mate, and for afternoon, avro,
Avo, yeah,
yeah, and
yeah, yeah.
then definitely defo,
Devo. Oh, yeah. Devo? Definitely. Defo. Oh, I think
defo,
defo. So I think what is it? DEFO is definitely, and
yeah.
DEVO, Devo, is devastated.
Okay,
Really
and
sad.
also
Oh
Christmas
yeah.
present is Chrissy Prissy.
Prissy Prezi. Yep. Yep. Yep.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
good.
There's some uh, slang, some expressions that I learned from Australia.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, good stuff. And what have you um what's your experience like when some Australians come to visit you in Kupang? That's happened a couple of times, right?
Yeah, when Australia come to Kupang, what do I experience? I don't really know about, yeah, basically I don't really have a big experience when Australia come to Kupang face to face and have a, but like for my friends from Australia, I think they it's they self have the experience. So
Yes.
but one thing for sure is they also learn the same thing like me. Like in Kupang, we don't use formal bahasa, but I mean like we don't use the regular bahasa, but we use like Kupang Malay, right? So
Yeah.
and also the way we talk in Kupang, like it's a bit different with bahasa Indonesia itself. So I think
Yeah.
for Australian, when they come to Kupang, they will learn also Kupang Malay, like using Kupang Malay, and also they taste the different experience about travel around Kupang using traditional transportation like Bemo or
Yeah.
something. I'm not sure. I'm not sure about their experience, but one thing for sure is like that they
Um,
definitely learn. Yeah,
you've got to say, I've got to say, definitely, I agree with you. Because when I went to Kupang, I started to learn some local Kupang language, and I really liked the experience of traveling around town on the Bemo.
yeah,
And sometimes I got on the Bemo and I didn't really know where I was going, and I got lost. But in the end, I could find my way back home. But it's a very different experience for me. So I agree with what you're saying.
yeah. So I think that's all from me. If you ask me about the students from Australia come to Indonesia, so that's all I
Yeah.
can say.
Oh, no, that makes sense.